everybody, I'm Sean Hammond. We're at NAMM 2011, day 3 at the Kemper booth with Michael, who is playing for us just now, and we got Christoph here. Christoph, how's it going?
Hello, I'm fine.
Good. So there's been a lot of buzz, I think, on the internet recently about your new profiling amp. It's called the Profiler, and I like to think of it as sort of the Napster of guitardom, or the potential for that, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Right.
Why don't you tell us what this is about?
So, right, this is like the first of its kind. It's the profiling amp. It's capable of taking or capturing the exact sound of an existing tube amp that you might own or your friend or whatever, and reproduce it. So in the end, it will be in our profiling amp, and you can take it anywhere you like, and it will stay forever. And mainly this is, you might know that like even the same amp might sound the same in different situations, because at least the microphone position you might want to vary it, but it will capture all of this, so you can have your studio sound, your studio guitar sound reproduced exactly. So this is what we're going to show today.
Right. And of course, I was joking before about being Napster of guitardom, because of course it's all above board. But it's pretty mind-boggling in the scope of what you could do with this. If you were fortunate enough to have a huge room full of vintage amps, you could sample all those, take it all to a gig, and plug into the PA. That's sort of the idea, right?
This will come with like a bunch of profiles that we have already made, so this doesn't come empty. But everybody can feel free to profile their own amp, and so you have your really own sound. It's not like a modeling amp where you have like predetermined sound that were made in the factory. It's the thing that you make your own sound. You can sound as you want to be.
Okay, so why don't you run us through the process of how you capture the sound?
We can start with the profiling process. What we listen to now it's a preset that we made at home. So I will now enter the profiling mode, and now we see with Kemper amp. Please continue, Michael. Right, this is still the preset that we hear. Now I switch to. Right, this is the sound that we are about to profile. I will.
This is they had the way you're showing
I will tell
here.
you later during the process what it is exactly. So I press next and start profiling, and now pretty soon you will hear some test signals coming up. There it is. So these test signals will be sent to this tube amp, very boutique, very expensive tube amp. The tube amp drives a cabinet. Open that up. So there's a speaker with an SM57. Whoa, now it's getting very loud. The microphone signal of the SM57 will be fed back to our profiling amp, so it's a closed loop, and the profiling amp at the whole time was listening to the sound and trying to recreate that sound. So we can listen to the result now. Now you hear the profile. And that is the original. So what you can see here now, we make a very fair A/B comparison. So you can see if the profile came out well. So that is the copy now. And now I remember back to the original. And I guess you don't hear any difference. That's the copy. Original. Copy. Let's see, that's correct, right? There you are. Original, well, it's not there because
You just unplugged the head we saw here, so
because I unplugged that. Okay, I have a gain control, right? Just change that. I can have this sound absolutely clean, or even more distorted than the original could have been. Right? I have full access to an equalizer, so I can modify the sound.
it's pretty incredible. Can you explain a little bit how it does that, like what the test signals do exactly?
Well, I can't tell too much about that because it's mostly a secret. But what it does with the test signals, as I said, it's sending it through the whole loop and listens to it. There's a very complicated algorithm in there that is able to listen to the residual sound and can modify all the parameters that are needed to sound the same.
How does it turn out with changing the parameters? Are you going to get the same sound with changing the parameters on the profiler as you would get if you had changed them on the test amp?
Well, that depends on what you do. The gain control will be mostly equal. One thing will not be original if you change our equalizer, because this is our own creation of the equalizer. You will get different results. Maybe sometimes even better results, because we were requested by many guitarists. Like if we do an amp like that, we should have an equalizer that goes much deeper into the tone shaping than some originals do. Still, if that is demanded by users, we can easily create a set of models of existing equalizers that can be tied into the profile. So yes, then you will have the same results.
Right. But then at the same time, I'm guessing there's enough memory in there that if you have several sounds you like from the same amp, you just go in, change it on the original amp, and then profile it again, right?
Oh, but yes. So like we assume that like when you have your favorite amps, there will be like 3 to 6 favorite sounds that you like. You have profiles of them, and they will be absolutely perfect. And still you can modify that. But I want to show you maybe even some more features that we have that you can't find in an original amp. So, or maybe I put the equalizer back to neutral. Yeah, Michael, play. Let's see, we have that pick parameter. So often you have the problem with the recording to emphasize the pick, right? Especially when sound is distorted. We can do this easily by just one knob. You're hearing his transients coming out. We can even do the opposite. So things get even less defined. That was the original, right? We have a full set of effects that come after the amp, stomp boxes that you can assign before the amp. So we have like a whole lot of set of stomp boxes that will be increasing even in future. So we will not stop working on that product. I think we have right now something like 30 stomp boxes done by now, but this is definitely not the end. This profiling process can only capture an amplifier, tube amplifier, including microphone, cabinet, the air in between, maybe additional equalizer settings. So we will not capture the whole thing.
Okay,
right?
so if I was plugging my guitar into my pedal board and then into the amp, it's not going to capture the effect of the stomp boxes?
No, it will not capture the effects. No, this is impossible. I'm sorry. Let's check out the ability to clean out a sound, right? So that's a distorted sound. And when you bring it down to clean sound, this is what you want to expect from a really good tube amp. Bring it down, and now we have the possibility to bring up a compressor that is sitting in the amp. So now Michael, as you hear, is playing a compressed clean sound, as you would have with a clean sound, still now by the volume part. You can revert back to the full distorted sound, which is also a feature that I haven't seen anywhere else, right? There is so much more to that. We have power sagging. We have a parameter like preamp definition where you can control the distortion behavior of the amp, clarity. But this is sometimes very subtle parameters that is better to listen to at home. Like this surrounding on the trade show is sometimes too noisy to hear that, right?
Now, what sort of features are on the back?
So we have XLR output. This is actually the profiling return, but it also acts. This whole profiling loop can act as a general effects loop if you need it, because at the time you make music with that, you will not do profiling. So it's a regular effects loop. Also, we have that nice hole in here where you can put cables, like in a combo. But there is plans to fill that hole with an optional power amp, so you can go on stage with your own power amp, right? But you might not need that in the studio, so that is optional and not done yet.
I should have mentioned earlier, you're not new to this. You have
yeah.
designed a line of synthesizers, the viruses.
Yes. Yeah, I'm the maker of the virus synthesizer. Been doing that for 15 years now. We have, I think this year we have some little anniversary, and yeah, and that's the next thing that we're doing.
Cool. Now, when will this be available?
We believe that we will be done by second quarter of this year.
Okay. And I understand you're having a pretty successful show here, so we'll
we
probably
have.
see distributorship here in the U.S. fairly soon, hopefully. But where can people go to find out more about the product?
Oh, you can go to our website, that is www.kemperamps.com, and we will provide you any news in the future.
Cool. Thanks, Christoph.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Michael. I'm Sean Hammond, and you're watching PremierGuitar.com.